How's it going?
Good,
Sean
how are you?
Ferguson from FlickDirect.
How are you?
So first of all, I want to congratulate you. It has just been, it's such a big success.
Thank you.
You scared
Thank
the
you.
shit out of me, by the way. I mean, like, seriously, I jumped.
Oh, thank
and
you.
that doesn't happen easy.
Yeah.
So you're residing now in Castle Rock.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us? Because I know there's not much you could tell us.
Yeah, it's they gave me the sort of the footnotes of things that we can say, and we're here doing all these interviews, and they're like, "This is what you can say about your character. You're a prisoner."
That's it. That's all we
So
got.
that's pretty much all I can tell you. I mean, they're really limiting us to what we can say. I mean, we're shooting. We're halfway through production. We're on episode 5 now, and it's a very, very sort of nail-biting mystery type of show. And I mean, reading the scripts, I would get the scripts, and I wouldn't know what was going to happen in the next episode. Still, so every episode I read is sort of a surprise, and I feel like I'm almost viewing the show as I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Because every script is still, it's a page turner, and you can't figure out where it's going, and it really has me captivated, and I think that's a really good sign for that the show will be captivating to watch as well.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be really interesting. Before I let you go, you got to tell me what's your favorite Stephen King movie or book? Excluding it. We can't do it.
Right.
Yeah, you can't do it. So
I know that I know he doesn't like it, but I think Shining is my favorite of his. It's just the movie. It's, I think, phenomenal. Like I've watched. That's one of those movies that I sort of go back to every 2 or 3 years. Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch The Shining again because it never gets
do
old.
around Halloween.
It is, truly is. Yeah.
Right.
So there you go.
All work and no play.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Take care. How are you
Hi,
doing?
good,
Sean
how are you?
Ferguson from FlickDirect.
Hi, Melanie.
So, the new show,
Yes.
Castle Rock. You're living in Stephen King's world.
Yes.
How terrifying is that?
It's very spooky. There are definitely things on the show that, I read the scripts and I'm just like, oh, how creepy. And it's the type of creepiness that I'm very into, which is like a psychological kind of like gets into your bones kind of creepy.
Have you read a lot of Stephen King? What's your favorite Stephen King book?
I have read a lot of Stephen King. I love a lot of his books. I think they're all really wonderful. For some reason, Pet Sematary is the one that really has like...
That's a classic.
Oh, I read it when I was really young, and it just really, it stayed with me.
Is it tough when you have Pennywise hanging out in the cast?
Well, I haven't actually seen it yet. I read the book, and I saw the original mini-series many years ago, but I haven't seen it yet. So all I know of Bill is that he's like the sweetest little angel. He's like the kindest person, and he feels like my little brother, and yeah.
What's your role in this show so far?
Well, she's a real estate agent, and she's trying to sell properties in Castle Rock, so it's difficult. And she's a very interesting person. She's like a sensitive, complicated woman.
Well,
like a lot of Stephen King women,
That is very true.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait to see you in the show.
Thank
We
you.
hope everything goes good.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
How's it going?
Hey, how are
Sean
you?
Ferguson,
Nice to meet you. I like your
FlickDirect.
shirt.
How's it going? Thank
It's
you.
going great.
So, you're the creative minds behind this whole project. So, I'm going to start right off the bat.
Let's do it.
What's your favorite Stephen King book?
Oh, man. I would say, and this is sort of like a cheap answer because it's like surf and turf, but I would say for me, Different Seasons, those 4 novellas are all brilliant in different ways. And, but Pet Sematary was the first I read, and so that's still the one that like scares the bejesus out of me most.
And
I think as a writer, Misery is my very favorite. Yeah. So the idea of getting chopped up by a super fan is pretty terrifying.
It is.
They're all brutal. I know Gerald's Game just took me down.
Yeah.
That's a brutal one. So we're in Stephen King's world. How do you deal with his mind in writing this?
I mean, first of all, with great humility and trepidation, it was a really, really exciting thing to us. We were both huge fans of Stephen King's, and they were books that meant a lot to us as kids. And so to get to not only kind of explore that universe, but do it through the kind of lens of life in this town, Castle Rock, which is, kind of like the world capital of nightmares and dreamscapes for Stephen King and his fans. That was really, really exciting to us, and we approached it, with great care. We approached it first as fans, and so I hope that that fans of Stephen King will find something to be really compelled by.
So you want to give us a basic premise so the viewers can know what are we looking at with this new project?
Sure. So the first season of Castle Rock takes place in 2017, and it is the story of an unusual legal case that emerges at Shawshank Prison. So André Holland plays Henry Deaver, who is a death row lawyer, and he comes back to Castle Rock, where he is from originally, to represent a prisoner at Shawshank.
And a whole bunch of existential mysteries and disturbing pieces of the history of the town are sort of excavated along the way. And so it sort of also becomes a chance for us to just sort of explore what life is like in the Levitt town of horror.
Well, unfortunately, I think all things lead back to Castle Rock, and not everybody makes it out alive, do they?
That's for sure.
Yeah, I would say actuarially, it's very hard to get life insurance in the town of Castle Rock,
I could imagine. Well, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
With
Yeah,
us.
my
Thanks
pleasure.
a lot. You have a good Comic-Con. How's it going? I'm the last one.
All right.
Selma.
Yes.
Moonlight, American Horror Story. I can't get away from you. You're everywhere these days.
Oh, thank you.
And now we
man.
got Castle Rock.
Yeah.
Are you gonna make it out alive? 'Cause this, from what I hear,
Well,
this city's not, this town's not doing so great.
Yeah, it's struggling a bit.
Yeah.
But we're still in production, so I hope I make it out alive. But we'll have to wait and see.
We're not allowed
Yeah.
to get too much information.
Yeah, we're not. But also, who knows at this point? We're
So
we're still making it.
What kind of secrets can you give us?
Oh man, not many.
Not many.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll say that my character is. I was really drawn to this character. He's a death row attorney who has deep roots in Castle Rock, and he comes back to Castle Rock after many years in order to work with a client who's having some legal trouble. It's a very peculiar set of circumstances. And,
Sounds a little sketchy.
Yeah. So that's what brings him back, and that I really enjoy kind of uncovering who this man is. Through it's in the world of Stephen King, and definitely genre is a part of it. But really, for me, it's a psychological thriller almost, right? It's about these people who would just happen to be living in these sort of unique circumstances. So that's what drew me to it.
Okay, so last thing. What's
Yeah.
your favorite Stephen King movie or book?
Oh, I would have to say Pet Sematary. Yeah, I was a big fan of that movie.
We got a crew here that's
Yeah.
like loving Pet Sematary.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's the one we grew up. I grew up watching that one over and over again.
Right.
So it just, it's
I know. I read Gerald's Game, Needful Things.
Yeah.
But Gerald's Game scared the crap out of me.
really,
That was a tough one.
Yeah, I'm in Needful Things now. I just started, so I'm like, oh
And
god.
that's
That's a big one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll keep you busy.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with the
Thank
show.
you, man. I
Can't
appreciate
wait
it.
to see it.
Thank you. Enjoy
Thank
the rest
you
of
so
the time.
much.
All right.